What's going on, my good people? This your boy Light Up the Entertainer here to bring you the big HBCU Battle of the Bands. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting Battle of the Bands. It's a lot of heavy hitters in here. There's a lot of bands that got some hidden talent in here as well. So I'm very, 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 very excited to see this. There's a lot of bands that's in the SEEK that participated in this Battle of the Bands, and I love the SEEK. So they got some unique bands out there, man. One thing I would say about this is that there's no favoritism involved. I pretty much graded all HBCU band content, and so with me seeing this, it makes me feel good to see all these bands here present. It's a beautiful thing to see. One thing I also would say is that, again, there's no favoritism, but I grade all HBCU bands, and I'm going to give my fair, honest take on these field shows, okay? I'm also going to grade the stand battles, so be looking out for that as well. But I just wanted to give my honest feedback on the field shows and what they can work on, okay? Now, what I would say before we get into the action, so y'all know what bands that participated, we got Fayetteville State University, Savannah State, Winston-Salem State, Fort Valley State, Talladega, Virginia State University, Benedict, South Carolina State University, and Bethune-Cookman. That's 9 bands. That's a lot of bands. That's a lot of bands. So, it's really good to see that big turnout. It's a beautiful thing to see. Sometimes when we have these type of Battle of the Bands, there's not that many bands, probably 4, 5 to 6 show up, but for the fact that all these bands participated today, it's a beautiful thing. It's a real beautiful thing. I want to give a shout out to Mr. TJ85 for getting this footage. I appreciate this footage better because it's at the top, and it's not up close, so I can appreciate everything that's being presented today. So that's why I went with this his footage. So all the footage is provided by him. So please give that man a follow if you can. I know that he'll definitely appreciate it. Tell him that Lightbulb sent you. Alright, so one thing I will also say as well is that, there's different size bands, and I know some people be like, well, you can't compare sound to this band, nothing like that. I'm not grading all that, This is just me giving a fair take on their field shows, okay? So, with that being said, please look to the cards next to me so you know what we'll be grading. We're going to be grading entrance, songs, formation, dancers, breakdown, and overall creativity. Maximum points they can make all together is 25. If they're creative, if they do something unique or death-defying on the field, they would get them an extra points that possibly round up to a 30, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm going to have dubs for some of these bands, okay? Some of these bands receive dubs, some of these bands would not receive dubs, but that's just me giving a fair and honest take on what they can work on, okay? Now, what are these dubs for, okay? So, I'm going to be grading all these HBCU bands over time, and I will be doing a tier list, okay? So, please look up the link above if you want to see what that looks like, but it's basically a tier list for me to grade how these bands do so we can rank them every year so they can know what they can work on and possibly improve over time, okay? So, my expectations, before we even get to the video, my expectations, I'm going to shut up, I know I'm doing a lot of rambling, but I want to give my expectations. My expectations is for entrance, I just want it to be clean. If it's direct, it's direct, but I just want it to be clean. Songs, if they are standing still and they're playing fanfares or whatever, I'm expecting the piece to be clean. Formations, if they're doing line drills, I'm expecting the lines to be straight, not no snakes on the field. I'm also looking for symmetry things, okay? So if one side looks off than the other, then we have an issue. Now, granted, we do got holes in the field sometimes, but I can recognize that before we even get into the field show. And then we got dancers. If the stunts and everything looks good, then they straight. Breakdown, I'm looking for at least 3 breakdown features. At least 3 breakdown features. They got to be clean. They got to have the energy, and they have to be together. Okay? Creativity, again, if they just do something unique or death-defying. But that's my expectations for this. Please do not bash your boy because your band did not receive a dub from me. Okay? So if they're able to get at least a perfect field show rating, 25, I would give them a dub. If they at least make a 27 on their field show, if they don't make a perfect field show rating, I would give them a dub. At least a 27. Okay? Anything under that won't receive a dub. But that's no favoritism. That's just honest critique what they can work on. Okay? So, with that being said, did enough rambling. I hope y'all understood what I was trying to grade, what I'm grading, but we're going to get to it. Alright, so Fayetteville's first. Very excited to see them. They're a very strong band.
We are the marching Bronco Express. Today we bring you the stages of love.
Ooh, they do the mace, bro. They call it.
Let's go, NBA.
Yo, that was cool. Good to get the knees in the majority. Nobody's out there escaping. Except for home, right? If I'm like that. Stop putting the knees in the hand. It's okay. Hopefully they can shake that up.
Right, the queens of the NBX will have you working day and night. Director of Bands, Professor Austin R. Chalmers, EBX, give it to him.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
FSU, let know you in the house. Let's go.
Got the energy.
HBCUs are always changing people's lives. Today, we're focusing on love. If you love your HBCU and you graduated or went to one, I want you to make some noise. Let's go, NBX.
Okay, Fayetteville.
Discipline and movement, driven in excellence.
Okay, Fayetteville. Okay, let's get that again. Alright. Man, they got a perfect 30, ladies and gentlemen. A perfect 30. I couldn't spot anything wrong with that, man. Everything was good. Everything was to the point. It was entertaining, you know. Very entertaining. I enjoyed everything about that piece, you know. One thing I would say is that it was very unique, very direct, you know. Very, very strong. Very, 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 very strong, you know. Was a lot to look at in there, you know. You had to really pinpoint the small things, but it was really good for the majority, you know. Very strong, you know. I got a chance to watch Fayetteville in the past, and hey, that's a strong band when it comes down to field shows, you know. So I didn't expect nothing less from this band. They actually executed very well. So I'm very pleased with that. Very pleased with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. They don't got them a dub on their name. That's a good way to start the season for me, at least, you know, for them. So, very excited for them, you know, and I can't wait to see what else they're going to showcase on the field today. Oh, well, not today, but later on when I grade their stand battles, etc. So, very excited to see that. So, you know, moving on. Very good. Very good. All right. So we got Savannah State next, okay? So with Savannah State, you know, very strong band. I said that that's one of the top tier bands in the seat when it comes down to field shows. Very, very strong. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the table, you know. Not expecting nothing less from this band, you know. It's a couple of hard hitters in here, you know, but definitely excited to see what they're going to bring, see what type of sound they're going to bring. They got some power on them. So very excited to see them. So let's get into the action.
Mic check. Now that we got your attention, 94 days, 22 hours, 24 minutes, and 21 seconds since the powerhouse of the South last visited Charlie Johnson Stadium. The wait is over. And now, the South. From the beautiful city of Savannah, we bring to you the 2025 edition of the Powerhouse of the South. We present to you today the Crazy Bowl.
Through the maze too.
Our drum majors this evening, Isaiah
Drum majors killing it, bro.
Jaquez Stevens, and our hit drum major, the Supreme Fearless Taylor, known as the Ambush.
Okay.
Now, let's slow it down for a second. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself, who's getting all of my residuals? Under the baton of Mr. Aubrey Simmons, Assistant Director of Band.
Love that ending.
The radio station.
Love that ending. That was nice.
Turn this party up a notch. Let's kick this dance routine off right. Kick this party off. Hey, sometimes we just want to have some fun. Somebody say, went west. 2025 edition of the...
Alright, let's get that a grade. Alright. So, was not a perfect field show, but let's see if it was a passing grade. Alright. So, interest, I'm going to give them a 5. Songs, I'm going to give them a 4. Formations, I'm going to give them a 5. Dances, I'm going to give them a 4. Breakdown, I'm giving them a 4. Creativity, I'm giving them a 5. Okay? Let's see, was that enough for them to pass? Okay? They got a 27. They got a 27. Not bad, not bad. Still was a strong field show. But let me give my criticism and what they can work on. So songs, when we got down to that dance feature for the dancers, I just feel like there's some stuff that needed to be sprucing up just a tad bit with the band so it could sound cleaner. The dancers, I just feel like they can be just a tad bit cleaner. I mean, everything else was straight. It just needs to be cleaner. Breakdown, when it comes down to the breakdown, they gave me more than enough features. But I feel like some people had the energy. Some people were kind of going through the motions. And it's just, sometimes, you know, when you have a mixed aura of that, it kind of throws it off a little bit. So another thing too, it didn't look as clean as it should have been. You know, if that makes sense. Like, it was like some people who were putting the energy and some people was not. So it kind of threw it off. And then you had some people, bandsmen that were stiff. So, you know, get your bandsmen unstiff. You know, but it's still, for the majority, they still got a passing grade. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Paya! There it is, ladies and gentlemen. They got a dub on their name. That's a good way to start the season for Savannah State. Great way to start up. Okay, so moving on. Enjoyed that from them. If y'all part of this family and y'all enjoyed this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing. Means so much to me. Okay, so if you can, hit that notification bell so you can get more content like this from me. Alright, moving on. We got Winston-Salem State University. This is gonna be interesting to see. Winston brings that heat. Winston brings that heat. Winston brings that heat. They always bring that intensity. So I don't know what to expect, but I just know they're gonna bring that intensity. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay. That was dope.
on behalf of our chancellor, Dr. Brown, Provost Dr. Stevie Longer, Dean of the College, Dr. Manju Mott, and Chair of the Music Department, Dr. Marvin Brown, it is time for the Winston-Salem State University Red Team of Sound to pay tribute to a musical genius. Here's Stevie Wonder.
Okay. Look very good. When they was in their squads, they was marching 8 to 5. That's pretty good. Look like they got some holes on the field. Like they're missing a good suit.
We're going to slow it down and feature the ladies of Silky
It was good. I just feel like the ending should be a little bit cleaner. That's all. I really appreciate them marching 8 to 5 in their squads. It looks actually very clean. Let's get that a grade. Alrighty. So, was not a perfect field show, but was it a passing grade? Alright. So, entrance, I'm going to give them a 5. Songs, I'm going to give them a 3. Formations, I'm gonna give them a 5. If I can rank it higher, I would actually. Dancers, I'm gonna give them a 5. Breakdown, I'm gonna give them a 4. Okay, so let me explain why I gave the grades. Needed one more thing in creative for them to get a 5 for me. Breakdown, it's kind of like how I said about Savannah State earlier, is that they had people on there that had the energy and some people did not have the energy. It's like everybody as a collective has to have that energy for people to resonate with it. So, you know, it was good they had the features, so they just need to just get people unstiff as well. And I think they'll have it. Dancers did phenomenal. Formations, y'all did very fantastic. Watching 8 to 5 from point A to point B. In the squads looked really good. We got into the songs. When it came down to that, the slow jam that they played earlier, I feel like there was some stuff that needed to be sprucing up just a little bit. Just need to be clean with the tone. When we get close to the dance feature, it just seems like they needed to work on articulation just a little bit. Now, granted, this is the beginning of the year, so you know, that can definitely change over time. So, you know, fair criticism, fair game. So, was it enough for them to pass? Let's see. They got a 26. A 26. Alright. So, they was not able to receive a dub from me, but they will be seeing more of me. Okay? So, if you're part of the Winston family, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. Okay? You know, hey, they a strong band for what they are. Like, look, they really excel in the stands, me personally. So, I'm excited to see what they're going to do when they get to the stands when I grade that. Okay? So I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, but you know, they just didn't receive a dub on this one. Okay, so don't shoot your boy in the comments. All right, moving on. All right, so we got Fort Valley State University. Okay, I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. When I was doing my SEEK tier list, I said that this is something that they needed to work on the most. 8 to 5. 8 to 5 was killing them last year. So I'm hoping that they can rectify the 8 to 5 and bring that heat. Because they got a great sound. They got a great sound. And, you know, they got that intensity, that grit. So I'm very excited to see what Fort Valley State is going to bring to the table. Hopefully that they was able to rectify those small things that I pinpointed last year. So hopefully they put it on us. So let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all the way from 1005 State University Drive, the Fort Valley State University Boom Machine Marching Band, a.k.a.
Andrew, okay.
And the field. Drum majors for the evening, Mr. Justin Hollywood Ryan.
Some slight 8 to 5 issues. Some slight 8 to 5 issues, man.
Cadillac Soul Hardaway. Together, they are locomotion.
What's up, the drums are talking about?
President of this great university, Dr. Paul Jones. The Blue Machine drills off the wall.
live percussion. That was dope. They did really good. They did really
good. Now we're gonna slow it down to Love Train, directed by the arranger, Mr. Detroit Hammond.
Sound really good. It sounded really good. It sounded really good.
For the good part. The blue machine transition. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. So get on down. Get him a little bit more, cats.
We're finna validate our stuff real quick. Alright, let's see. Finna validate something real quick. There it is. We just want to get the yeah, it's in this area.
Together, they are locomotion. University, Dr. Paul Jones, blue machine drills to off the wall.
Alright, let's get at a grade. So, entrance, I'm going to give them a 5. Songs, I'm going to give them a 5. Formations, I'm going to give them a 4. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 5. Breakdown, I'm going to give them a 4. Creativity, I'm going to give them a 5. Okay? Was it enough for them to pass? Yes, it was. They got a 28. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Was not a perfect field show, but they do deserve a dub. So here it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. They got a dub on their name. They definitely earned that dub. Okay? One thing I would say, they brought that intensity on the field, and they was able to rectify some of those things I mentioned earlier. It's, I was saying that 8-5 was a thing for them. For the majority of that field show, they executed very, very, very well. I mean, I have no true complaints at all. I would just say they just need to sprucing up in the beginning. Just a tad bit, besides that, they was pretty much hitting everything else. I know some people be like, oh, how do we fix that? They just have to just work on staying consistent. Everything else was consistent for the majority. When we got to the breakdown, however, one thing I would say is that they had the energy. Majority of the people had the energy. You just have to work on some of the people being a little stiff out there. But everything else was clean. I have no complaints from that. But well-deserved dub from Fort Valley. Congratulations on receiving that dub from me. Can't wait to see what y'all sound like in the stands. Because y'all sound like that right here. I can't wait to hear what y'all sound like in the stands. Can't wait. Alright. So if y'all made it this far in the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. One thing I would also say before we get into Talladega, I have a membership program. The membership program is basically me highlighting different band battles from different eras. So if you become a member, you get to have access to those band battles in particular. We're talking about from the 90s on up. And I will have exclusive drumline battles strictly just for memberships. There's not going to be any drumline battles I will have for my subscribers. So if you're part of my membership program, you will receive that, and you would get set emojis that I highlight in my videos. Okay, so if you want to be a part of that, it's only $2 a month. Again, that's only $2 a month, and you will have a big library there, and y'all can request of what we see throughout my channel as well. Y'all have that power. Okay. Now, one thing I would like to say, if you don't want to be a part of the membership program, you can still donate by hitting that thank you tab below. What that thank you tab is me y'all highlighting y'all wanted to still donate to the channel. So, whatever y'all would like to do means so much to me. And I will still give y'all a personal thank you at the end of each video. All proceeds will go into me getting YouTube Premium, which is me trying to not have commercials. Sometimes I'm reacting to band battles with fifth quarter, etc., and a random commercial pop up. That's annoying for me, and I know it's annoying for y'all. So let's make this channel great. let's put some money towards it so we can get YouTube Premium together. Let's make this channel great. Again, I appreciate y'all and thank y'all in the long run. So, moving on to Talladega. Talladega, this is going to be interesting to see this band. They have been missing a lot for me. I've seen them at several Battle of the Bands, and they can't catch a break with me. So I'm hoping that they can be able to rectify some of these issues that I have pinpointed, and hopefully they can rectify it and increase their chances of receiving a dub from me. They struggle a lot with some stuff with the 8 to 5 department, and it's some stuff that just needs to be rectified over time. So hopefully they can fix it, and we can give them a dub today. Okay, I can say last time I did see them, they did slightly better than what they did at the Labor Day Battle of the Band. So hopefully, they'll bring that energy today. Okay, so let's get into the action.
CDK, where are you? Press box.
Nice drill so far. Some 8 to 5 issues going on. Big 8 to 5 issue here. Huge 8 to 5 issue. 2 of them. Okay. Going through the motions at the beginning. Right there in the front. Alrighty. Let's get that grade. Alright. Let's see what that grade looks like. Was not a perfect field show, but let's see, was it enough for them to carry? Okay. Creativity, I'm going to give them a 3. Entrance, I'm going to give them a 5. Songs, I'm going to give them a 5. Formations, I'm going to give them a 3. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 5. Breakdown, I'm going to give them a 4. Okay? Alright. So, was it enough for them to pass? We finna find out. Okay? Alright. They got a 25. 25. I would say that this was strong, okay, for them, based off of last things I've seen from them. One thing I would say, they did switch up the field show. I gotta give them that. They did a different field show for this Battle of the Bands. The only problem is that the 8 to 5 was not there. They was doing good until they started doing the pickups. When they started doing the pickups in the line drill, going into it, people started getting off. And then when they started marching straight 8 to 5s back to their main, to the center of the field, there was not even straight lines, especially in the front. Okay, so that hurt them. Breakdown, they had the energy. They definitely had the energy. I just feel like there was some people who needed to participate more for it to carry, for me, at least. They had the energy. For the creativity, they could have gave me a little bit more spice. You know, they kind of lacked some spice in this field show. But, you know, hey, they did pretty good. But they did not receive a dub from me, okay? So, you know, some people think I'm picking on Talladega, but I'm not. But it's just some stuff that needs to be sprucing up for them to receive a dub from me, okay? So, really good show for the majority, but, you know, just they need to rectify those small things, okay? So, moving on. We got Virginia State University. Okay. We got Virginia State. We just got done seeing them when they went against Snowfolk. So if y'all want to see that video and see how that went out, please click on the video above me if y'all want to see that. But very excited to see what this field show is going to be. They're usually pretty strong when it comes down to this category, so I can't really give too much critique on them because they to the point. They use it to the point. Virginia State's usually up there, man, when it comes down to field shows. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. So let's get into the action.
Explosive, It's time to lead, no doubt. Let's cock that T and take control of the battle for the South.
Throwing smoke in here. Okay. They said they're ready for the smoke. They're gonna bring the smoke.
Columbia, South Carolina, the 803, the Virginia State University Department of Music proudly presents to you the 2025 edition of the Marching Trojan Explosion. And now we prepare to get off the wall as we bring to you the classic Michael Jackson hit, Rock With You. The king of pop. On the 50-yard line, we feature the sparkle of the explosion, the lovely ladies of the elegance of Troy, twirlers. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the explosion!
They did that. Beautiful.
And now hold yourselves together as we bring to you the jewels of the CIAA, the lovely ladies of the Essence of Troy, as they perform to Usher's Scream.
They did that.
Give it up for Essence.
Wow.
And now, the explosion slows it down just a little bit as we bring to you the dynamic, lovely ladies of the Satin Diva flag line, performing to the sounds of Joe, the classic R&B hit, All the Things.
Okay.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the explosion is in the house.
Yeah. They got the energy. They look clean.
Slow it down, Trojans. Party.
Yeah.
Trojans. Here we go.
They did that. They did that.
You have just witnessed another stellar performance of the Virginia State University marching Trojan explosion all the way from Petersburg, Virginia.
Let's get that a grade. Oh man, they got them a perfect 30, man. Oh my goodness, standing ovation for me, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! You talking about some execution from start to finish. From start to finish, ladies and gentlemen. My gosh, Virginia State University. I knew they had it in them. Everything about that field show was right. Everything about that field show was right. They sounded clean. They were together. They did everything right in that field show. I have no complaints at all. Creativity was on a record scale high. Everything was there. It was always something to look at on the field. There was no dull moments. The breakdown was clean together. It looked exciting. They had the energy. Everything was there. Everything was there. Wow. You know, that was nice. That was definitely nice. And they definitely got them a dub on their name right there. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. They don't got them a dub on their name. Man, look. I already knew they had it in them. This Virginia State. They never surprised me. They know how to put on a clinic on that field, man. They definitely do. I have no complaints. No complaints at all. No complaints at all. They handle business. You feel me? Business. They said, yeah, we finna give them that work. Let's get to the action, fam. Wow. That was entertaining. Whew. Virginia State University. That's one of them. Alright, so we got Benedict College, the hometown hero, okay? Because this is their stadium. Before we get into it, one thing I would like to say is that Benedict was ranked really high on my Seek tier list as far as field show is concerned. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring to the table. I don't know what they're going to do, but they are very strong on the field. Very strong on the field. So I can't wait to see what they're going to bring. If y'all part of the Benedict family, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. Alright? So with that being said, let's get to the action.
L. Johnson, Assistant Band Director, Ronald T. Green, and Derek D. Rivers, all the way from 1600 Hardin Street, right here in the beautiful city of Columbia, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your Benedict College Band of Distinction. Once again, are you ready? 'Cause here we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Director of Bands, Dr. Brendan L. Johnson, allow us to give you this, our fanfare. As we always do about this time, listen as we play your favorite song. Dance along and vibe with us as the band performs I Can't Describe by Jennifer Hudson, the BC Band.
Very cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the emblem, BC.
Some slight 8 to 5 issues there. Very slight.
Now watch the band move in pageantry and precise motion. Sassy. It's the oh so sweet ladies of Sweet Sensation as they perform to Estelle's American Boy. Sweet Sensation is under the direction of Miss Cherie Nelson, auxiliary coordinator. BC into HBCU. Vibe along under the direction of Assistant Band Director Garrett D. Rivers as we give you some of the Grammy-winning artist Jasmine Sullivan. Pick up your feelings. Two-time nominated Best R&B Song for 2021 album. Gentlemen, give it up for your divine silk flag line.
That was dope. The pen game is crucial.
Once again, under the direction of Assistant Band Director, Mr. Garrett D. Rivers.
That pen was crucial.
All right, fans, it's time to get up because the band of distinction is about to make this field move. Benedict College, are you ready? The band of distinction is bringing the groove straight to you. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. Here comes the dance you've been waiting to see. All right, here we go. Top back, T.I. All right, man, let's get it in. Let's go. Come on, come on. And now, for some of that genuine, take you back to it. Get moving. Let's do it. Okay, what we got for now? A little bit of that freaking. Let's get it. Released in 1997, Kilos Ali, Freakins. Come on, let's go.
Got the energy.
Freakin'.
And it looked very clean.
Okay, let's go. Bring it down. Ooh, just like that. The B.O.D. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise once again for the Benedict College Tiger Band of Distinction. The BCBOD is under the direction of Dr. Brendan L. Johnson, Assistant Band Directors, Ronald T. Green, and Garrett D. Rivers, Percussion Coordinator Tariq Foster, Auxiliary Coordinator Sheree Nelson, and Shakira Williams, and the entire support staff. You have just witnessed an ultimate halftime experience by the Band of Distinction.
Was not a perfect field show, but let's see what they got. So creative, I'm getting them a 4. Benedict entrance was a 5. Songs, I'm gonna give them a 4. Formations, I'm giving them a 5. Dances a 5. Breakdowns a 5. All right. So they got a 28. Okay. So before I get that done, let me give my criticism. With songs, when we got to that before the breakdown, it just needed to be slightly cleaner in that department. But everything else sounded good. It was just that one song right after the dancers. I just feel like that should be just a tad bit cleaner. But I know there was like a little small segue and everything with them mixing. But their pen was crucial. Their pen was crucial. I just needed one more creative moment from them, and then I probably would have gave them a 29. But they got a 28. Okay, 28. So with that being said, they got them a dub on their name, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Great field show. Great field show. Very strong. Okay? So that's a nice dub from them. Like, one thing I got to give Benedict, they are consistent on that field. Sometimes they might not hit perfect 30s, but they stay in the upper register. They never go below a 26 or 25. They either 27 or up. Every time. So Benedict, they got my respect. For real. For real, for real. Alright. Moving on. We got South Carolina State University. Oh my gosh. This band here is one of the top bands I graded with the Meek. Okay. I said that Norfolk and them were tied for S tier in the tier list. And I said that they were pretty strong. South Carolina State is a very, very, very strong band, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to put on this field, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited. I don't know what to expect, but I'm hoping that they can seal the deal today, you know. So, with that being said, again, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all made it this far in the video, please consider liking and subscribing, okay? So, let's get into the action.
And committees for the invitation. And now, from the beautiful Garden City of Orangeburg, South Carolina, the home of champions, under the direction of Dr. J. William Nicholas, Dean of the College of Education, Humanities, and Social Sciences, Dr. M. Evelyn Fields, and the entire NC State University band staff. Please welcome the famed Marching 101 of South Carolina State University. The shining stars of halftime beneath the Carolina skies. The 101 conviction is real. Over. We begin with the position drill. Tyler, the creator. Ring, ring, ring.
It's 5 issues.
The silken smooth pageantry of the electric silk color guard.
Pretty follow the little drill.
talented and world famous champagne dancer. Marching 101. The time is now. So let's do this. Never duplicated.
Okay.
Now break it down one time for 2 Dodge Road. Just in case you didn't know, always ride the 101 pony. Now let us cook. In your face.
They got the energy. And it looked very clean. There you go.
From the city of 10,000 azaleas. It ain't over. Let me be clear. This is still the only marching band in the world where our goal is to transcend, conquer, and do nothing we desire. Or any band, any day, any time, anywhere. This is how it's done when you're the best. Sciences, Dr. M. Allen Fields, Assistant Directors, Dr. Stephen Lee, and Mr. Zodiac Cooper, and Albert J. Schuler, Assistant Director for Administrative Services, Dr. Eric Williams, Legal Assistants, Mr. George Stack, Dr. Shea, Champagne Dancers, Ms. Laura Henry, Mr. Amy Wells, Mr. Alvarez, Mr. Mark McCooney, Essentials, Mr. Allison, Donations, Mr. Larry Perry, Sound Technician, Mr. Demetrius, Nice, Thanks everyone has been yours truly, R.W. That. Metro, Mason Rose.
Alright. Let's get that a grade. Oh, very exciting. Very, very exciting. Okay. So, wasn't a perfect field show, but let's see what their grades were. Alright. So, breakdown, I'm going to give them a 5. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 5. Formations, I'm going to give them a 4. Songs, I'm going to give them a 5. Well, no, I lied. Songs is a 4. Entrance is a 5. Okay? So, they got them a 28. Alright. So, when it comes down to songs, one thing I would say with the songs is it was some parts that just need to be a tad bit cleaner. I could tell that this is the beginning of the season, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible or anything, but I could say that it was just some stuff that just need to be sprucing up just a tad bit, and I think that it'd be straight. Definitely strong. Definitely strong songs, but they just need to just be sprucing up just a little bit. When it comes down to the formations, there was just some slight 8 to 5 issues here and there, but it wasn't too noticeable, but I was able to capture some of it, look at some of it. It was more so on the right side of the field. Looking into it, it's their left when they facing that way, but it's all right when we looking at it. But you kind of see what I'm saying. It's kind of on that side. So, it is what it is. Just slight, very slight. Wasn't a whole lot, but it would just need to just be sprucing just a tad bit on that. Everything else was good. Everything else was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that from them. So, no complaints. No complaints. Everything else was just hitting. Creativity was there. I enjoyed the creativity. It was some moments. It took it a while for it to show some more creativity, but a lot of creativity happened close to the end, in the middle, and the end. So, like I said, I appreciate it. So they got them a 28. So you know what that means? Fire! They got them a dub on their name, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, well-deserved dub from me. I can't wait to see what they're going to bring at future battles. I know that they're going to have some unique battles coming up pretty soon, so I can't wait to grade that from y'all, okay? So, with that being said, we got one more band, and that's Bethune-Cookman. The largest band out of the set of these bands, okay? So, really, really, really excited to see what this looks like. Wow. We here. So, Bethune-Cookman is one of those top bands on the field shows in the SWAC. For me, they can put on a show, man. They can put on a show. You got to give it to Bethune-Cookman, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. Don't know what they're going to execute today, but we're going to give it a fair, honest grade, okay? All right? And by the time we get close to the end of the video, I will give you who I felt was the strongest band. But they won't receive a dub for being the strongest. They receive a dub from the grades, okay? So, with that being said, let's get into the action. Humongous band to capture. It's just seems like they get bigger and bigger every year. Oh my God.
Drum majors in America, period. Ladies and gentlemen, it is
They did that. I was not even expecting a handstand for him to go through that. I'm used to just them doing the split and all that, but I was not expecting a handstand for him to jump in the middle of it. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Director of Bands, Dr. Donovan B. Wells, Assistant Directors, James Potier, Pedro Ore, Richard Watson, Mickey Roberts, Voice, Ken Moore, The Drill, This is Janet Jackson and 14 Karat Gold. Control. Ladies and gentlemen, from the soul of the Wildcats comes a sound that takes you back to a 90s groove. This is pure R&B gold, mint conditioned, pretty, brown.
Beautiful.
Just in case you didn't know, we are the only band in the world that's guaranteed to show up and show out anytime, any place. And now, one of the hottest anthems in the street, Pluto. Making it smooth and undeniable. Leon Tullis, Mutt.
Oh, wow. Percussion. love that arrangement.
And turn it loose, straight from Baby Chief, do it with.
Beautiful. They did that. Get that shit a grade, bro. Oh, man, Bethune Cookman. Oh, my gosh, Bethune Cookman, fam. Woo. Oh, my gosh. Woo. Perfect 30. Perfect 30. Yeah. That's one of them, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of them field shows, man. I mean, like, wow. You know? Just wow. Ooh. Mm-mm. Bethune Cookman, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Wow. That was some crucialness right there. They brought the energy, fam. They did. They brought the energy from start to finish. No complaints. Everything was there. Everything was presented. It was clean, direct, to the point, man. Wow. Yes, indeed, Bethune. Oh, my goodness. Whew. Did y'all hear that mud arrangement? And then they was dancing on that, too. Oh my gosh, fam. Bethune Cookman. Alright, so we get to this part of the video where we're going to grade the strongest, okay? So, you know, with that being said, this is my personal opinion on who I felt the strongest. Please comment below who you think was the strongest band, okay? But it's my opinion, so don't bash your boy. This is just my honest opinion from me watching all these bands put together, okay? So it was a lot to grade, but, you know, I'm going to give the verdict. Alright? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So, these are my strongest bands. They got some ties for these placements, okay? So, we got 3 perfect 30s. We got 3 28s, you know. And we got everything else in between, okay? But, hey, this was very entertaining, man. Like, gave me goosebumps the whole entire time, and that felt good to give out a lot of dubs too. Felt really good to give out a lot of dubs. So, who was the strongest band? Alright, so the strongest band for me, number 1, we had a tie between Bethune Cookman, Virginia State University, and then we had Fayetteville State. Alright, so Bethune was number 1. Number 2, I'm going to give it to Virginia State. Fayetteville, I'm going to give that 3. But they all got perfect 30s. So that's something to admire. When a band get a perfect 30 for me, they will get a trophy emoji by their name. Okay? So that means that they up. Now, some bands don't even get emojis by their name. So I give them extra showcase that they really put their work in by their name when they put trophies by their name. Sometimes, even in the stand battles, I give them emojis too. It depends on what they do on consistency. But Bethune is number 1. When we go to second place, there was 3 bands tied for that, okay? We had South Carolina State, we had Benedict, and then we had Fort Valley. Okay. Number one, I'm gonna give it to Benedict for number one. Underneath that, I'm gonna give it to Fort Valley, and then we're gonna give it to South Carolina State University. Enjoyed them, definitely enjoyed them. You know, that's just my favoritism as far as that. But you know, Benedict, Fort Valley, then South Carolina State. Okay, third place. Okay, there was no ties. In fourth and fifth, there was no ties. Okay, so third place, we have Savannah State. Okay, Savannah State got third place for me. They did very good. Fourth place, we got Winston-Salem State. Okay, and then last but not least, we got Talladega for fifth place. Okay. But that's my strength-wise, you know. But Bethune-Cookman was the strongest band out of the whole group. They was the largest band out of the whole group, but they had everything was there. They executed everything well, and I couldn't knock Virginia State, you know. But you know, like I said, man, that's just my honest opinion. But if y'all want to, you know, comment y'all list below, definitely do. You know, it means so much that y'all participating in this as well. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, please consider liking and subscribing. Think about being a part of the membership program. Again, that's only $2 a month. If you don't want to do that, you can still donate to the channel. But if you don't want to do that, give Real Boy a free digital handshake. It's just a like. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. So, with that being said, man, next thing I'm going to be grading from this is their stand battles. So, make sure y'all sit tight, look for it this week, and if y'all new to the channel, please participate in that subscriber request poll. Okay? So, I'm finna get up out of here, man, and like I said, always, deuces.